Hello students. Due to the Labor Day weekend and the Labor Day public holiday yesterday, we've now prepared for you a set of online materials and online activities to help you study for next week's exam at the beginning of class, as well as the week 6 topic in regards to retailing. The set of materials that we've provided, along with the activities, will help you to revise for next week's exam. Reminder that the exam will commence just after 9:30 and will run for 60 minutes plus 10 minutes reading time. So what I've provided for you is online materials that will allow you to review the key topics as a continuation from last week's class, and then online activity that you are to prepare in your own time and then upload for submission through Moodle for some online feedback. That will give you the preparation that you need in order to be fully prepared for a successful tilt at next week's exam. As well as that, we've provided some materials for retailing operations, which is the first part conducted in week 6, and a tutorial question to practice what you'll read through the topic material. The plan is then, after next week's exam, the second part of the class will continue on with retailing operations and review all submissions from your tutorials that you've submitted. So just a reminder, as I said, next week's in-class exam will go for 60 minutes plus 10 minutes reading time. The first 10 minutes of reading time, you are not able to write. It is reading only, followed by 60 minutes of writing. It's important that you remember that the materials that you can bring in is a non-programmable calculator. You are unable to bring in a calculator that's got the ability to store information. You can bring a pen, pencil, a rubber, anything that you need to write. Mobile phones, computers, laptops, tablets, etc. will not be allowed in the exam, and you'll need to put that in the front of the room. So please make sure that you're bringing a non-programmable calculator. There will be no calculators available for your use in the exam, and you will find it difficult to be successful in the exam without a calculator. As discussed in class last week, the exam will be broken up into 3 parts. There will be a multiple choice section, okay, made up of random questions from weeks 1 through to 4. It's important that in order to be successful in the multiple choice questions, you understand the different types of statements and reports that we've learned over the first 5 weeks. They are your income statement, statement of changes of equity, and your balance sheet. Make sure that you've also got a good grasp of the accounting equation. That equals your assets, equals your liabilities plus equity, and all of the components that go into that equation. As part of the slides and materials that we've provided for you today, the equation is outlined in that, okay? And making sure that you understand the use of accruals and prepayments in the journals and when they are required. That will make sure if you are studying those topics, you'll be fairly successful, will have a very good chance of undertaking the multiple choice section. Also, as discussed in last week's revision, there will be a worksheet retaining to the original trial balance, an adjusted trial balance, and a final trial balance that you'll need to complete. That will be your calculation portion of the exam. And then finally, there will be some short answer questions relating to adjustments to that working sheet you've prepared. There will also need to be journals, narrations to be completed. So making sure you understand all of those, the nature of the adjustments that you've undertaken. And then finally, needing to complete one of a combination of an income statement, statement of changes of equity, and a balance sheet, all of which to consolidate your knowledge of the completed accounting process. As part of this online material, we've provided a set of slides, which I will now share my screen so that you can see. So online, you can see here, there are 39 slides provided in the online activities. The first part relating to revision of weeks 1 through to 4, and the second part is the first part of the retailing operations. Please make sure that you read through each of these slides carefully, as well as the learning objectives to understand what you will learn out of these slides. So as you can see, the first part of the slides has a heavy reliance on the revision for next week's exam, consolidating your learning for weeks 1 through to 4. Very important is you've got the accounting equation and the elements for those accounting equations. Okay, this is then finalised with the normal balance of an account. Okay, as I've reiterated in class time and time again, please make sure that you take the time to understand how the equation and the debits and credits affect the assets, liabilities, and owner equity, which of course incorporates the owner's capital, owner's drawings, revenues, and expenses. So the information that we've provided here was part of the week 5 revision. Please make sure that you take the time to understand these and work through these in detail. Okay, these have been deliberately chosen because these are going to be the topics of concentration within the exam next week. Okay, so we're trying to provide you with as much information to guide you through your revision as possible. After the revision portion, we then move through to what are retailing operations. Now, you will not need to worry or concentrate on retailing operations as part of the exam. As we've said, the learning outcomes concentrate on weeks 1 through to 4. However, retailing operations is an integral part of this unit, forms part of your Pedesco study, and will also form a big part as part of your final exam. So, as part of this material, we'll show the part 1 of the retailing operations. As per the learning objectives, for part 1, we describe the retailing operations and the perpetual and periodic inventory systems and understand how to account for GST for the first time. So we'll take you through those inventory systems. How do we account for the purchase of inventory using a perpetual system and account for the sale of inventory using a perpetual system? So the perpetual system of inventory concentrates on constantly updating your inventory as you purchase and as you sell inventory, rather than taking up an adjustment at the end of the period. However, we do take you through both and the differences in theirs and how to account for them. Part of next week's class after the exam, we will make sure that we go through retailing operations part 2, and we will also revise part 1 so that any questions that you may have from learning these materials, we can go through in detail. We have also provided you with the online activities and in-class questions from week 5 and 6. We introduced the continuing problem Draper Consulting last week. So this is a continuation from the start of class that you did. So everything that you require here, all of the questions are on the Word document provided, as well as space to complete the questions. Again, please make sure you take the time to work through this, as the work that you'll perform in here will help you tremendously when working through the calculations and the short answer questions on the exam. It covers every possible element that we've covered so that you will not have any surprises when the exam is conducted. Finally, we've provided space for tutorial questions relating to retailing operations E5-5 so that you can prepare the journals within the tutorial question. The tutorial question that is required is in your textbook that you have purchased, either online or written hard copy, as well as in the slide, under slide number 38. So if you're unable to access your textbook, you can look at the question as per the screen online. Don't worry, if you do get confused doing this tutorial question, we will be going through it next week as part of our revision for part 1 of the retailing operations and then part 2. So please make sure that you attempt it and write down any questions that you may have. Finally, before next week, make sure that you complete the online activities and tutorials and upload them to Moodle. Within Moodle, we have created a specific online upload that you will do under topic 5, retailing operations. This part will allow you to upload it just like any other assessment that you have at Macleay. However, please note that the actual assessment that you provide or the uploaded tutorial questions will not be assessed as part of your normal classes. It's purely there to make sure that everybody answers their questions and puts it online. On the screen now, I will show you where to go. So under topic 5, revision of the accounting cycle, you will see week 6, online activities. All you need to do is to go on there and upload it. And as we said, it's for Melbourne students only to upload the week 6 in-class activity tutorial. These will not be assessed. So again, they're not there to be graded. However, it will give us an indication of how well you are going in your exam preparation, as well as give us a basis for next week's class for the retailing operations. So the earlier that you can upload these activities, the earlier I can give you feedback on these. If you are able to upload these activities by the end of Friday, then I can give you individual feedback for your revision for your exam. I can't give any specific answers, but at least I can give you some feedback as to how you're traveling and what areas you may need to provide for further revision. The feedback on the tutorial questions I will be able to give to everybody as part of next week's class in reviewing part 1 and doing part 2 and redoing that tutorial question in class. So, therefore, please enjoy going through the online activities, work through it at your own pace, make sure that you take the time to understand all the materials in the lecture slides, as well as all of the online activities for the revision for the exam, as well as the tutorial exercise. If you have got any questions, you are confused, you are able to contact me via email, which I've provided, as I've provided in the online upload. I wish you good luck in revision for your exam. Please make sure that you're on time at 9:30 next Monday, ready for the exam, as we'll be commencing the exam on time, and for any latecomers, you will not be given any additional time at the end of the exam to complete. If you are confused again as to what materials to bring in the exam, as always, please contact me using the details provided. I wish you the very best of luck again and have a very great week, and I'll see you in class on Monday.